This Hillbillies in the Bush, and Ryan and I just got done going out and shooting the muzzle loaders, tuned them up there a little bit, and now we get the fun job of cleaning them. Huh? Is that a fun job or not, Ryan?
It's a job.
So instead of stinking up the house, as you guys well know, that if you're shooting a muzzle loader, it smells like rotten eggshells. I think it's the sulfur in the black powder. Ryan don't like the smell of that, do you, bud? I told him I'm telling him that's a manly smell of mountain men from days gone by, but I don't think he's buying it. But we had already swabbed them out. This is the second run. Looks like it's pretty clean. What do you think, bud? Yeah, it looks pretty clean. We decided to come out here instead of stinking up the house and build a little fire there and sit around the campfire and clean our muzzle loaders. We got two of them there. One of them's a real old 50 caliber Thompson Center Hawkins, and the other is a CVA Missouri model. It's a little shorter barrel. In fact, that's the one he's got now. A little shorter barrel with none of the brass trimming, and the ramrod was broke in it, and so we had to make a new ramrod. We had to flip the little part spring that holds the it's a flat spring that holds the ramrod down in there. Somebody had it flipped over. They cut the ramrod off, thinking that the ramrod was too long, and then they couldn't figure out why they couldn't clean the gun or tamp it because the ramrod went down the barrel. So I went ahead and flipped the spring over, and we made a new ramrod. Like I say, the other one is the Hawkins model, and of course it's all decked out in the brass. It's an old beater. In fact, a buddy of mine, his dad threw it in a trash dump. It wouldn't hold zero. He had a scope on it. It wouldn't hold zero because somebody had not cleaned it right or left it unclean, and pretty much it pitted the rifling out of it. So much over 45-50 yards, it's not too daggone. I wouldn't even shoot at a deer over 50 yards with it. But under 50 yards, I can probably punch a hole in one and bring him down. And it's more of the authentic style of muzzle loader. But we're going to go ahead and get these cleaned up, and we'll probably put them back together and show you what they look like when we're done. This is the ramrod we made. It's a plastic, some kind of plastic.
You made it out of this one too.
Some kind of a plastic rod that they use. It's supposed to be like an unbreakable. We got some scratches on that I got to re-blue. Some scratches down there that I'm going to blue up. But the ramrod works, and like I say, we had fun shooting. I had fun shooting. Did you?
Yeah.
You know, except for that manly mountain man smell, huh? And we had
a 22.
We had the 22 out there as well. Brought it back, and we got to clean it up. But we can clean it inside. We can clean these inside, but that really stinks up a house, and Mommy probably wouldn't appreciate that too much. But go ahead and get the other one done, bud, and go ahead and put that barrel in. I think the water, look how clean that water. That water's clean. That barrel's good to go. We'll take these inside now, and we'll run some dry patches through them and some light oil through them. We'll oil all the barrel and then reassemble it, and that way the underside of the barrel's got some oil on it. And lightly oil the barrel and put them up, getting ready for muzzle loading season here in a few weeks. Deer season for guns starts tomorrow. We won't be able to go until probably Saturday, but we'll go ahead and shut this off for now, and when we bring you back, we'll probably have them out here setting up somewhere, maybe upside their little makeshift fort, cabin, whatever thingy, and we'll be back.
Now,
one of the things I wanted to show you guys, this is called a nipple wrench. Every time you get done shooting, you should take your nipple out, and what I normally do, or what I do, is just hold this over the fire for a few minutes, not even minutes, maybe, I don't know, 20 or 30 seconds to get this warm, so that the water that's down in this charge hole, that hole goes down and goes over to set your powder off. The other thing I do is, and this is very important, because lots of times if you shoot a muzzle loader a lot, the hole that is a horizontal hole between that gets plugged up with powder and rust and residue because people don't do this thing. This is a oxyacetylene tip cleaners. I took a tip cleaner out and you can see how it's bent at a slight angle, not a 90. And this was made just to go in here like this right here and clean that hole out that's in there that goes straight over to the big part of the barrel. If you keep that hole cleaned out real good, you will always have it go off when the cap fires, unless something powder's wet or whatever. But this is why most of the time muzzle loaders don't fire and people get mad at them when they're the old style muzzle loaders like this. It's because that touch hole that goes, charge hole that goes through there is clogged up. Once I determine that's clean, and I do it every time, it don't need to be done every time, but I do it, and there's never hardly any build-up there because of it. Then you can put your nipple back on and tighten it back up. And you have to make sure that that nipple is started straight on with your fingers before you start running this down through here. Now, this nipple wrench does have a little thing here. This is supposed to go down in there. This is for the nipple here to clean this out. But it won't bend to go down over in there, or if it does, it'll probably hold that bend. This is to clean this out, but that's why I made this. This will also clean that out better because this is ribbed like a little file. You can see it. I know it might be getting a little dark, but anyway, that's how I wanted to show you that touch hole that goes down over the horizontal hole that connects the charge hole with this main part of the barrel has to get cleaned. If it doesn't, chances are you will have a misfire most of the time. That's a pain in the butt getting that back down in there, but I usually don't use this brass thing because I have this made. We'll do that on both of them, and this barrel's just a little warm from the fire, which is good because that means it's steaming out the rest. But as you can see, I can touch it. It's not, I doubt if it's over 130 degrees. If that, it will not hurt the temper of the barrel. It has to get up above that quite a bit. But this is the old Thompson. Let's see. Yeah, this one was made Thompson Center, Rochester, New Hampshire. It's got a low serial number. This one's made, from what all I can determine, back in the 70s. Thompson Center, their records burn up, so even if you contact them, they can't tell you from that serial number what year the gun was made, because they had some record, they had a fire or something in their records room, and it destroyed a lot of their data. But there are, if you search online, there's people that bought them brand new in certain years and has certain serial numbers, and they'll help you out to try and get you close. But this one, by all the things I can come up with, was made in the early 70s. What I started to tell you about the rifling getting rusted out, the guy threw it in the dumpster. His son got it out of the dumpster because he wanted to kind of have it, you know. He shot it, could never hit nothing with it or keep it zeroed in, so he traded it to me for a couple knives. And we didn't even, there was no money exchanged hands. We did a barter system with a couple knives. We're going over here are the stocks to give you an idea. This is the Thompson Center stock, the original, you know, your old Hawkins model that went clear back in the 1800s. You got your brass patch box here that opens up, and I usually keep spare patches in that. We just took them out, but you can keep a cleaning jag or whatever in there. But this is the old one, and
I like that one.
This one here is considered like a hunter's model. It still has the double set triggers, but everything's blacked out on it. The barrel's a little bit shorter. It's a little bit lighter. The stock, I don't think it's I think it's birch or something. I know it ain't walnut. It's some light grade cheap stock. Not compared to this one here. This one here is almost twice the weight of these. But this is your old probably.
This here's why I don't like that one. I don't like that metal buttstock.
Now this one's got a little rubber pad.
I'm spoiled. I like the rubber.
But I'll just show you the difference in them stocks, you know. And as far as weight goes, this one's twice as heavy as that one. Some of it may be the brass, but
you can see it's a little bit
taller too.
Taller.
Well, we're going to go ahead and put them together and then give you a shot of them once they're together and all rolled up. We'll get back. Okay, we're back. Let me just show you what happened. We just stuck this gun back together. Now look at the ramrod. See how far the ramrod's sticking out? That ramrod is in all the way. That's as far as it'll go in. The same thing happened to us, which happened to somebody else, but somebody else didn't stop to think about what the problem was. They just automatically thought the ramrod was too long, and they chopped the ramrod off and brought it back in. And that's a good inch and a quarter there, easy. Well, when you go to tamp your ball down in, you have nothing that doesn't go down in all the way. So we're going to take it apart real quick, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Give me a second here. Okay, here's what happened. You see that little thing right there? That little thing right there is a spring. It's a flat spring, and its position is wrong right now. It needs to be flipped up and over so that it looks right like that. What that does, that'll allow the ramrod to go down inside. Hold it right like that, Ryan. It allows the ramrod to come in there. It'll flip up, and the barrel that sits on here is keeping constant pressure so that it holds the ramrod in there. If that's flipped the other way, if it's flipped over, the ramrod can't go down but a certain distance, and that's what happened. The people thought the ramrod was too long, and they see, it'll go down in there and stop because the barrel's right here. It'll go stop, and it won't hit right. So keep that in mind if you guys buy a muzzle loader and the ramrod sticks way out past the barrel. If it's a CVA or a Connecticut Valley Arms is what that stands for, you may want to check that little flat spring right there. Now on the Thompson Center model, they don't have that down inside the stock. What they have is they have a flat spring right there at the end. See that little flat spring where it hits right there? And that allows it to put constant pressure on that ramrod as it goes down in and seats. But we'll get them back together and show you a side by side of them. Okay, we're back. There's you a side by side of them. Some of the differences, of course, this one don't have any brass on it. Look at the engraving that's on that lock plate. Of course, it's the case hardened blued type stuff that makes different colors. This one here is just plain Jane. You come on down, of course they're all brass. That's a brass pin through there. This one here is a metal pin, so you have to make sure it's oiled. But once you get it together properly, this is the way we made the ramrod to come out to the edge of that lip right there. Right there, which is basically the same as this one. Both of them are in there right now. But them are two muzzle loaders that we use. Like I say, this one here wouldn't really hold zero with a scope on it. So the guy threw it away and his son got it out and we traded. I do know that this gun is capable of killing a deer because I killed a deer last year with it. No, not last year, year before last. I killed one year before last, and they are a powerful weapon. It actually caught the shoulder bone going in, busted a rib, went clear through, busted a rib, and caught the shoulder bone on the other side, and kept right on going, exited the deer. That thing just crumpled. So if you have any doubts as to how powerful these things are, yeah, they may not crank out 2,000 feet per second like some of your, your high-powered rifles and stuff, but it will flat put the whammy on something. So that's just a little something. We should have got some footage of us shooting them, but any of you guys that shot these, you know how they are, and it's the cleaning that's the pain in the butt. But we're going to get off here and probably cook us up some deer meat. So till next time, guys, you want to sign us off?
It's been Hillbillies in the Bush. See you later.